Welcome to Slash Bash, where today I am bringing you another Am I the Butthole Reddit video. Am I the butthole for my response to my sister's boyfriend's brutal honesty? I'm a 35-year-old female, and my sister, who's 27, started dating one of those brutally honest guys a few months ago. He can be quite rude and make backhanded comments about me and the family sometimes, which is bothersome, but my sister says he's not malicious, but is just the brutally honest type, and we should get used to it. I visited my parents' house to celebrate my sister's birthday, and my husband couldn't come with me because he was busy. After the party, we all sat down for dinner, and my sister's boyfriend said it was weird that my husband and I don't have kids despite being married for 6 years now. I was shocked that he brought this up, but I gave a short answer stating that it's because of infertility issues. He asked on which side, and I didn't want to answer, but my sister said it's on my side. I got uncomfortable as he looked at me for a second and said that maybe not having kids now is a good thing, because he thought women over 30 might produce defective babies due to age. I told him it was none of his business, but he said that he was just giving his honest opinion, and that's all. I, in return, told him while maintaining eye contact, trust me, if I wanted an a-hole's opinion, I would have farted. Literally everyone at the table burst into laughter, and my sister and her boyfriend were stunned. A few seconds later, her boyfriend excused himself out, and my sister followed. After they left, she sent me a text saying I was mean and disrespectful towards her boyfriend, and I insulted him maliciously just because he stated his honest opinion. She also said I ruined her birthday by being petty and making her boyfriend the joke of the night in front of the family. I didn't respond, but she demanded an apology via mail as soon as possible. My mom agreed that I shouldn't have said what I said and should have just ignored him, knowing how he is. I think I am the butthole, but I'm not sure. Am I the butthole for refusing to do a DNA test? My dad found out my mom was cheating, and she won't say with who or when, but we know it's likely around the time she was a stay-at-home mother. Thing is, she had all of us, 2 brothers, 1 sister, around the same time, so any one of us could not be my father's. He's divorcing my mother and wants us to take a DNA test to prove we're his children, otherwise he isn't paying for college for us. He promised to do so before this, and all of us have been counting on it. My sister, the oldest, did the test because she was confident she was related to our dad. She was likely pre-cheating, and she looks the most like him, so I was pretty sure she was. She's also in college and is relying on our dad, and he's going to keep paying because of the results of the paternity test came back positive. I have a feeling I'm not my dad's biological kid, since I don't look anything like him, and people even have commented I don't look like the rest of my family. I'm terrified because I think he's upset enough that he won't talk to me anymore and definitely won't be paying for my college. I don't want to take the paternity test because I don't want to know, but if I don't, I probably won't get college paid for. The money isn't in a college fund, but set aside as investments my dad has, and isn't going to be going to my mom in the divorce proceedings probably. I don't know how things will go, and I'm starting college in September. I stupidly picked a pretty expensive school because I thought my dad would pay for it, and he said it was okay, but now even if my mom was willing to, I don't think she can afford it. I'm so mad at her and my dad for putting me in this position. I've told him I'm not doing the test, and he said that's okay, but he will assume I'm not his and not have anything else to do with me since I'm 18 already. I'm living with my mom, but not talking to her because of this. After reading some of the comments, I've decided to do the test. I didn't want to out of fear, but now it's clear it doesn't really matter, and it's better I know for sure. Am I the butthole for insisting my boyfriend eat respectfully at a nice restaurant? I'm a 20-year-old female, and my boyfriend is a 20-year-old male named L. We have been dating for 7 months. We usually eat takeout if we want to get something to eat. However, I recently was promoted, so we went to eat at a very nice Italian restaurant to celebrate, like one with an enforced dress code. My boyfriend is not the nicest of eaters, which can be kind of gross, but I deal with it. However, I didn't realize he has no table manners. At the restaurant, after we were served our first appetizer, a beautifully plated bruschetta dish, Elle looked at me and jokingly asked me if I would be upset if he enjoyed his meal the same way he would at home. I told him that we were at a nice restaurant and there were other customers around. He didn't say anything, but instead started digging into the bruschetta with his hands, ignoring the serving fork and getting sauce all over his fingers. I let this go. However, when the pasta came out, he smirked at me and ate like he hadn't eaten in a week. He dropped his fork and started picking up pieces of chicken and noodles with his fingers, getting sauce everywhere, the tablecloth, his hands, his clothes, and face. He didn't miss the opportunity to loudly burp after he had finished destroying his side of the table. The table next to us was astonished. My waiter even asked him if he was okay. The other customers were staring. He also put his feet up on the chair next to us, blocking the aisle. I had no idea what to do. I didn't want to make even more of a scene, so I just asked for the check, which I paid, and left really embarrassed. On the way home, I told him how embarrassed I was, and he just said that it was my fault for not letting him enjoy the meal as he pleased, and that since we were paying customers, the other guests had no business judging us. Am I the butthole? Am I the butthole for being ungrateful for the cake my boyfriend made me? I'm a 33-year-old female and I have been dating a man named Alex who's a 34-year-old male for almost 3 years. Alex has a 13-year-old daughter from a previous marriage that he has full custody of. When we met, Alex was doing very well. He made 6 figures and he had a decent house in a fine neighborhood. I had a slightly lower paying job. Almost a year and a half ago, his job had to cut some employees and he was one of them. He had to take on a job and he earned much less than he had before. I moved into their house 5 months ago. Since I moved in, I have helped a lot with the bills, usually half or more of them. Yesterday was my birthday. I wanted to celebrate at a nice restaurant near us, however, it was closed. There was another one a little closer to us, although it was more expensive. I suggested going there for my birthday to Alex, and he said that he couldn't afford to pay for dinner there, and if we went, we would need to split the bill. I was a little upset, but he said he would make something himself. The cake I wanted was admittedly somewhat expensive. I pointed it out to him, and he said again that he didn't think he could afford it with Christmas coming up, and we'd have to go half. I told him I wasn't paying for a cake for my own birthday, and he said he'd see what he could do. Well, yesterday came. He made dinner, and it was quite good, better than most meals we eat, although not as good as what it would have been at a restaurant. However, when he brought the cake out, it was just something he had made himself. He said he was sorry he couldn't afford the nicer cake, but he had made this one and his daughter had helped. I pretended to enjoy it, but after I told him that I was hoping for a slightly nicer cake. He said he had tried his best and he couldn't spend the money he had set aside for bills on a cake. I guess his daughter heard, because now he's also saying that I made her upset after she helped make it. He keeps saying I should apologize to her and say that I really liked it. Am I the butthole? This is John from /Bash. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video and want to be the first to know when the next one drops, then subscribe. I would love for you to drop a like, share it with your friends, and I'll see you in the next one.